Communist Party and its leaders into disrepute before the American public and cause confusion and dissatisfaction among rank and file members. It talked about, I'll just read a little bit more. Generally, the above action has constituted harassment rather than disruption. In other words, they just generally harassed the Communist Party. They had programs on TV, I Led 3 Lives, they had Joe McCarthy. They had people scared to death of communists. When we grew up, we thought communists at least had 8 feet and 6 or 7 ears and heads, minimum. They were almost from outer space automaton, they were on automatic pilot. They were brainwashed. You didn't think about communists as having a wife and children and they liked anybody. No, they were almost like Nazis. Yeah. So acts constitute harassment rather than disruption. Since for most part of the Bureau has set up particular incidents, the attack has been from the outside. At the present time, however, there is existing within the Communist Party a situation resulting from the developments of the 10th Congress of the Communist Party, the Soviet Union, and the government's attack on the party principally through prosecutions under the Smith Act 1940 and Internal Security 1950, which is made in order an all-out disruptive attack against the Communist Party from within. In other words, they're changing tactics. This is 1956. From externally harassing people. When you challenge people like that from externally, you unite the people internally. So now they say what we're going to do is we're going to change the situation. A memorandum together with a letter to 12 key officers is being prepared requesting these officers to submit to the Bureau the identities of certain informants who will be briefed and instructed to embark on a disruptive program within their own clubs, sections, districts, or even on the national level. So that means the Communist Party is totally infiltrated. Now they're going to tell all their agents and informants, now we're going to pick fights. We're going to cause chaos and disruption. These informants will raise objections and doubts as to the success of any proposed plan of action by the communist leadership. Anything you say, we object to that. How smart is that? You know what I mean? Do you know what you're talking about? Okay, and over again. Now, remember, they got their snitches there, and they got a whole government agency of snitches. So if you got a good communist leader, and he's making a proposal, and the communist snitch is challenging him, and he gets a vote, well, let's go on and do it this way anyway. The government has a power to make his policy fail and make the objector look like he's got sense. What's going to happen after 3 or 4 of those type of sessions? They're going to replace the chief with the snitch. Happens all the time. Okay. They will seize any opportunity to carry out disruptive activity, not only at meetings, conventions, etc., but also during social and other contacts with Communist Party members and leaders. In other words, they're going to disrupt the whole show. That's 1956. Now, Memorandum of the United States Government, 11/15/1960. Group seeking independence from Puerto Rico, counterintelligence program, subversive control. Now, I remember I mentioned that when I was in Leavenworth, I was still there with the brothers that shot up Congress in 1950. They were sentenced by, they shot up, Puerto Ricans shot up Congress. They said, oh yeah, okay. So we want our freedom. So it's strong liberal. Here's what they got. It is believed that upon instituting a counterintelligence program in this field, efforts should be directed with the following aims in mind. Number one, disruption and discord. Number two, creating doubts as to the wisdom of remaining in the independence movement. Man, they don't know what they're doing. Now imagine the snitches now. They have the leaders who are working hard, doing a pretty good job. But they have a whole cadre of snitches, like say over on A Street, the little black fella and all of those. They was inviting everybody to dinners and meet at my house, all them side issues. Oh, that's slick. Not that we wasn't paying attention, and we knew who we was dealing with. They didn't affect us, but they can affect everybody else. Because everybody's going to say, you're saying those people are government agents? Well, they treat us nice. I said, they treat you nice. They don't treat me nice. I don't care what you know. I'm going by what I know. I know they're disruptive to the group. I mean, that's our attitude now, but that's not going to be most people. Oh, please stay with us. Not the brother. You want to go with them? Get on out of here. I just told you who they was. Now, that's the way that goes. Okay, that's because you got old and you've been did this a 50,000 times. How many people is going to last that time, that long? How many people are going to last 15 cycles? How many people will last 3 cycles in order to learn the process? Remember, when you're getting hit by the whole United States government. When they throw one punch, it's 15 or 16 combinations coming from everywhere. And they punching at the 2 communist leaderships, and they don't know who's who, what is what. And by the time they finish writing letters to each one of them, they ain't gonna know which one of them is all right. Remember, the government has experience with this, but the people don't. If you look at any movement or group that pops up, they don't have no experience. Within a few weeks, months, I'm talking about a year, they're going to be knocked up. Black Lives Matter has no possible chance of success, and it never has. First thing, I think I told y'all many times, we went down to Malcolm X Park. It was a nice, it was about half white kids and half black. And everybody's innocent. Oh, Ferguson, we're Black Lives Matter. This is the white kids. Do you guys, do they really, they have no idea of knowing. They just see it on TV and they said, that's me. And then they asking the black kids, because remember they stopping everybody in New York, did the police really stop you guys going to school? Hell, why you think I'm late all the time? Right? They don't have they ain't doing nothing to nobody. The white kids just don't know. It's not within their purview to know that because it don't ever happen to them. Right? So, you know, Chief of Security was down there, and so it was a nice demonstration. You could tell they never had a demonstration in their life, and they're trying to ad-lib, you know. And so the Negroes from New York, yeah, we gonna do this, you know, the police. So I said, Chief of Security, you stand around here for something. I said, see if you can get me the mic for 4 or 5 minutes. So he got me the mic for 4 or 5 minutes. So I came up and I told the people, I said, we thank all of y'all for coming out. We thank all of y'all for the heartwarming support network that you formed, and for you to say that Black Lives Matter, although most of you are not black. So we appreciate you coming. I said, in the meantime, I want y'all to remember something now. That during the days of struggle, we had many people coming to meetings as agent provocateurs. They all talk mean and gangster talk. We gotta get guns. We gotta kill our police. And all of those people were actually police themselves. That's what agent provocateurs is. They provoke you. I said, these guys got most of our people killed. These agent provocateurs. We thank y'all for coming out, but we don't pay no attention to people talking about what they want to do to the police, what they want you to do. You leave them alone. You just back up. If they don't like the police, there they are. Right? There they are. They're right there. You know. So, I went on out to California, and I saw the Ferguson demonstrations, when the fires are starting and stuff down there. That and New York Negroes, the same ones. And I told Sakina, look on the network news. There those Negroes are. The same ones. And what are the people from Ferguson saying? We don't want outsiders. Does anybody, we don't want outsiders coming in. You know, that's what the people got a perfect legitimate thing. They got a young boy, Michael Brown's thing, laying in the street for 4 hours. That's a tearjerker. They want to take the focus off of that and put it on the rowdy disruptors. Same thing happened in Oakland. You know, with the Wall Street movement. I go to them and I look at them and I pull a few people aside, but the wave is too strong. We don't have the ability. And the people have a perfect legitimate reason. I said that at one of the Oakland things. I said, and that was the chief of police there. And in fact, I talked to the chief of police, but not to him, but against him. Because all of my friends that are preachers, they own the, they used to call it the titty, they own the dough. They wearing t-shirts, you know, almost pro-police t-shirts. They're friends of mine, but them preachers that I know are government preachers, because they get a stipend. So what's the chance of you getting a genuine leader nowadays? We're wrong. Causing defections from the independence movement. Exploiting factionalism within the organization. Factionalism is a common fault with pro-independence groups, and it is believed that this existing friction, such as existed between these two, to point out to one the inefficiencies of the others in general conversation, fan the fire. In other words, start fires all over. In the 60s, they'd start fitting over here, and the poor good leadership would be going putting out fires. They tried here. all of what's happened is, in recent years, is starting problems that, say if we have 8 centers at one time, maybe 9, this one, that one, whatever y'all want to do, go ahead and do it. I ain't coming out there to see y'all, because it's already, I can't put out no forest fire with a water hose, garden hose. I ain't wasting no bit of time. I didn't go to San Diego. I went to Sacramento one time when I saw what it was. Goodbye, y'all. Don't make me no difference. Why? Because we knew who they all was anyway. They wanted us to use up our focus, our energy, and to deflate our egos and our abilities. See, if you got all these problems and you can't solve the problem, you're not aware of how they happen, it has something to do with how you think about yourself. Man, I couldn't keep that together. And you're thinking it's you. They real dirty. But we keep the focus right. We're going to skip a little bit and we're going to go to this is 3/4/68. Does anybody know what that day is? That's March 4th. That's 1 month before Martin Luther King was assassinated. But I'll read that one last. Let's deal with the white boys. August 25th, 1967, personal attention to all officers. Director FB Counterintelligence Program, Black Nationalist Hate Groups, Internal Security. And I will pass on that one. Let's find some white folks. Yeah, how about this one? Counterintelligence Program, Internal Security, Disruption of the New Left. COINTELPRO, New Left, 7/5/68. 5/10/68 requested us as a bulletin. Suggestions for counterintelligence actions against the New Left. The replies to the Bureau's request have been analyzed, and it is felt that the following suggestions for counterintelligence actions can be utilized by the officers. Now, they done sent out a memo for all the FBI to send in suggestions to counter the white student nonviolent movement, or what they call in the New Left. Also, they're in MI5 and SSA, whatever they call them, over in Britain. They're in contact with all intelligence networks. And remember, the British, their famous thing is divide, conquer, and rule. Divide, conquer, and rule. Pharaoh's policy was divide, conquer, and rule. It's all there in the Quran. Pharaoh broke the people up in sections. Remember, COINTEL programs are not new. The human being is not new. The governments are not new. All governments will digress or progress into, over a period of time, these types of dictatorships. No matter how well-intentioned, as it goes on without interruption, eventually it moves towards dictatorship. That's what the white folks here was about. They were saying, we got to have checks and balances. We don't want no kings. And of course, it didn't work. You know, the white folks, the Jeffersonian white folks, they believe like Thomas Jefferson said. Thomas Jefferson said you must have a revolution at least every 20 years to cleanse everything. Because within 20 years, a clique develops and they game the system. They, you know what I mean? They figure out how to game the system. So everybody can vote good. Well, now at the beginning, only white men would probably could vote. Don't say that much. And the Negro, why, he wasn't even a whole human being. If you got 5 horses, you got 5 horses. If you got 5 niggas, you got 3 niggas. Right? They do some serious math, and they don't mind. You know what I mean? Okay, now, here's what they want to do to the white boys. They did to the white boys. You have to remember, it didn't take long. This is 1968, July. By July, was that a little before? In 2 years, they're slaughtering the people in Ohio. They done killed 4 dead in Ohio, Kent State.
Kent State.
They done shot down 4 white kids.
College students.
Yes. The picture goes all over the world. This stuff is serious. The COINTEL program worked on everybody. And it usually works every time, all the time, except on us, of course. Thank the Lord. But we'll continue for a minute here. No, we didn't pull off, amen, I'm not bragging. We done pulled off the biggest upset in American history. That's what we had. Whether the people, whether you believe it or not, dear people, whether you like it or not, if you want to be free, go get your leaders that have pulled off something. Or go get them to make a suggestion or organize to do something beneficial for the people and to help them liberate themselves from government oppression. Get you a couple, I don't care whether they preachers, whether they doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs, just hook them up. Let's see if you can pull that off. Okay, anyway, preparation of a leaflet designed to counteract the impression that the Students for a Democratic Society, that's SDS, and other minority groups speak for the majority of students at universities. The leaflet should contain photographs of New Left leaders or leadership at the respective university. Naturally, the most obnoxious pictures should be used. Number 2, instigating of or the taking advantage of personal conflicts or animosities existing between New Left leaders, i.e., and the black community